Okay, team, the 2026 CrossFit Open is here, and we have the first open workout, which is going to be a simple yet really challenging lower body endurance and also just tough on your cardiovascular system. All right, breathing is going to be a key factor, and then just endurance in your legs. All right, so quick chat on the workout. It is for time with a 12-minute time cap, and for most people in the world it will be a 12-minute workout. It's going to be how far can you get in 12 minutes. All right, so it goes with a starting point of 20 wall balls into 18 box jump overs, 30 wall balls, 18 box jump overs, 40 wall balls, 18 med ball step overs. You're going to carry that ball with you over the box. 66 wall balls. Why 66? I don't know. We'll figure it out one day. Why not 6, 7? Joking aside. Then we got 18 med ball step overs. So now we're going down the pyramid into 40 wall balls, back to 18 box jump overs, 30 wall balls, 18 box jump overs, 20 wall balls. All right. So just judging from this workout, it is a very simple workout, and that's typically what CrossFit does. They try to make it as open as possible for as many people to do this. It is squatting with the ball, throwing it to the target, and then jumping on the box. So I would imagine that right from the get-go, after you complete the 20 wall balls, you start those box jump overs, I would imagine your heart rate is already going to start to spike. All right. So the key for this workout is going to be managing your heart rate, managing your breathing, and then just maybe even managing sets on the wall balls. All right. A lot of people are going to look at this and be like, I have to go unbroken on the wall balls, but that's not necessarily the case. You want to try to keep a constant movement throughout the workout, right? Because at the end of the day, it is 12 minutes. It's not super long. So you don't want to go super hard at the beginning and then find yourself gassed out, leaning over, not being able to do wall balls, not being able to do box jump overs because you're too tired. All right. So really break things down into manageable sets, right? 3 by 10 on the wall balls or wherever your fitness level is. All right. Now, in terms of what division should I choose? Should I go RX? Should I go scaled? Should I go foundations? At the time of recording this video, there is a little bit of bugging going on with the CrossFit Games website, so I haven't been able to double check the standards for this. But if I'm not mistaken, the RX is 20 pounds for the guys, 14-pound med ball for the ladies, and 24 inches for the box and 20 inches for the ladies. Now, if you can do wall balls with 20 pounds or 14 pounds, you got to go RX, all right? If you can jump on a box, you got to go RX, right? Now, if really jumping on a box is your limiting factor, then you can consider going scaled for this, right? And then the scaling option is 14-pound med ball for the boys, 10-pound for the ladies with step over the box here, so you don't have to jump, all right? And again, just double check the standards because their app and their website is kind of glitching. Hundreds of thousands of people are on their site and it's kind of crashing a little bit here, which is unfortunate, but I would imagine it is step over the box here. All right. And I would imagine the height for the scaled is still the same. So 10 foot for the boys, 9 foot for the ladies. I believe if you do foundations for everyone, I believe it's just a 10-pound ball. And I think the height goes down, I think, for 9 feet for both men and women here. All right. So that being said, let's go over the standards here. We have our Friday night lights starting tomorrow at CrossFit Max. So I want to talk to you guys about the standards. They're relatively straightforward standards, but as peers in your class, as you're judging people, you want to make sure, number one, you're counting for them properly because this is a lot of repetitions. And then number two, you want to make sure they're doing this properly. All right. And really, there will most likely be a decent amount of no reps that are going to happen in this workout. And that's going to be either because someone's not squatting low enough just because they get tired, or they throw the ball and because of general fatigue, they miss the target. All right, I would imagine that this is going to happen quite a bit. All right, and you want to minimize that as an athlete, so make sure every throw, every squat is perfect. All right, so I'm going to turn my camera here. I got my lovely coach Daphne, who's going to be demoing. So I'm going to place the camera a little further back so you guys get a good visual. All right, we got the two pieces of equipment here with us. So for the wall ball, all right, the more important thing is that you are squatting all the way down, meaning the hip crease goes below the knee crease. All right, can you show them that? Just what the squat looks like, right? With the ball. Okay, so standing up, full squat, hip crease below knee crease. All right, can you show them like at parallel? All right, so this would be like a no rep. All right, so you got to clearly get below parallel every single repetition. And this matters because we as CrossFitters hold the standard to good movement. All right. And then the other thing is tossing it to the target. Here at CrossFit Max, we have the blue line for the ladies and the pink line for the boys. All you have to do at our gym, 9 foot is at the bottom of the line. And 10 foot is at the bottom of the pink line. All you have to do is make contact with the ball at that paint line here. All right, so you start with a full squat all the way down, jump, touch that target here. All right, so that is some pretty solid squatting. Daph, you want to do 66 of them in a row for us? All right, so that is the wall ball. Now for the box jump over, you have to jump on top of the box, land on the other side. And I'm not sure if this is the standard. Again, I wish the website was up, but I believe you might have to step down on the other side. They did implement the forced step down. Double check the rules. You might have to step down, or maybe this year they changed it and you can jump down, but all of the elite men that did it on the announcement did step down. So I do believe it is a step down. You cannot jump down from the top of the box. The reason being, I think they just want a little bit of more safety for people's Achilles. All right, so can you show another one? Jumping on the box, stepping down to the other side, jumping, stepping down here, right? You do not need to fully extend at the top of that box. All right, now hold on. Can you come back to the box here? Can you show them what a jump off the box would look like? So that would be a no rep here. All right, so that is for the box jump. For the scaled version, you just step on top of the box, go to the other side. Again, you do not need to fully extend, just get on over to the other side here. All right, and then for the med ball step over, which is the first time they ever implement this movement, so it's a first, you can hold it, I believe, any way. All right, so you can hold it on your shoulder like Daphne, you can hold it in front of you, kind of like a goblet. You can really hold it any way. You just step on top of the box and then go to the other side here. All right, and I'm sure that's going to get real spicy after all of the wall balls you've done here. All right, so double check your standards. If you're judging, make sure you're holding the athlete accountable to a full squat. If they just throw the ball up in the air and they miss the target, you have to give them a no rep. It is a very unfortunate situation, but make sure your athletes are hitting the actual target, right? And that's about it for this workout. All right, it's going to be a leg burner. It's going to be really tough on your cardiovascular system. So stay in control breathing wise and just try to keep moving and grinding through on this workout. I'll leave you with one good note, seeing into the future here. This is a heavy squat volume workout. The good news from this is that maybe there might not be thrusters in 26.2 or 3 here, all right? So crush it, guys. Have fun with this. The open season is here. Enjoy it at whatever affiliate you're training at, and we can't wait to kick this off tomorrow at CrossFit Max. See ya. Baby girl, hecked up. Baby, you gon' keep it in a peanut, we don't trust. I'm a motherfucking mud point.